Michelle, Ma Belle. How can you die twice, 3 times, in the same life, when you are not a 9 lives cat? I don't exactly know how it worked for me. I just figured out that somehow the mamas and the papas music took some part at this process, and there was a little pattern on it. But you must follow me on the midnight voyage, one that has no ending, to hear this story dedicated to the one I love, even when it comes to the love after life kind of love. It first started back in 1974. I was a noisy 4-year-old boy who was gladly hitting the road with my irresponsible young father in a rainy Monday morning. Daddy was smoking weed behind the wheels, while I was in the backseat just listening to the music he chose to play in his old GTO. That was California Dreamin', and I was holding his The Mamas and the Papas tape while enjoying the song. Once my under the influence dad was such a bad conductor, I imagined he would crash the car and kill us both in no time. I pictured the headlines. 4-year-old boy died holding the Mamas and the Papas tape. He must be a huge fan. Ironically, I wasn't yet, because that was the first time I listened to their music, and that's why it was so funny to capture the exaggerated effect it would have in the papers if I was really found dead holding this tape. Fortunately, we didn't die. Unfortunately, Mama Cass did. Oh, Monday morning couldn't guarantee that Monday evening she would still be here with me. We stopped in a gas station to buy a sandwich for me, and a beer for Daddy, and then I heard in the news that Cass Elliot was gone. According to the TV guy, she died choking on a sandwich. I just spat a piece of mine out of my mouth and yelled. I didn't like the band yet, but still, it was like 1/4 of me had died in that stinky gas station with half of a sandwich in hands. As I grew older, my obsession with the Fantastic Four and especially with Michelle Phillips in her prime was so huge that I couldn't catch up with the news of my own time, since I was always too busy living in the past. I dreamed a little dream of her every single night, and spent the day making plans on how when I am a grown man, I'll taste just what I please, the honey from the bee, the shellfish from the sea, the earth, the wind, a girl, you know who, to share these things with me. At some point, it was, somehow, revealed to me that in my past life, when I was about 20, I was one of Mama Michelle lucky lovers, in the late 60s in the sunny California. Sorry, Papa John. I recovered a fragmented memory on how it was so hard to be alone with her, because John Phillips, Denny Doherty and Cass Elliot were always snooping around. I also couldn't recall any of our sex moments, just some flashes of a hippie life in the edge. No rules, few baths, no orders, just freedom, filthy feet and a childish belief that it would be summertime forever. Maybe I was too crazy even for those times, considering that I died so early, still in 1968, leaving so much behind. All the LSD effects from that past life followed me to my new one, making me a little delusional, but peculiar in a sort of way. I can't quite precise if my death was the reason to the end of our affair, or if it was just something else. I mean, some man else. I was expecting to hear from her. How could you leave and not take me? But I heard instead, you don't understand that a girl like me can't love just one man. Yeah, every time I see that girl, you know I wanna lay down and die. Guess in that particular time, I really did. When I was 31, I was traveling by bus, listening to a lot of different music in my Discman. Then, I got the Mamas and the Papas CD and hold the booklet, gazing at their pictures, spacing out, dreaming about Mama Michelle. In a déjà vu moment, I saw a bus accident, where I was found dead holding the CD. The headlines would careless say, "That's the second time he dies on the road listening to the Mamas and the Papas. He must be a double huge fan." Like that was even possible. I giggled and looked through my window to the sky above, when something creepy popped up. It looked like a floating body, slowly rising to the sky. It was not an ordinary body, but it was kind of transparent, so you could see it inside. In a reddish tone, full of veins, as if it was a nervous system. It felt like it was someone's soul reaching for heaven. Late that day, I found out Papa John Phillips had passed away. That's how another part of me died again. 6 years later, when Denny Doherty died, I was driving late at night, tired, reckless dozing, when I saw the ghost of this young papa in front of the car. I didn't have time to swerve, but I didn't kill him. I just crossed through him, as he slowly disappeared. I woke up scared to soon find out about a third part of me fading away that day. Michelle was the only surviving member of the top-notch quartet. Certainly, I could try to meet her now. Once she is the coolest 60-something-year-old gal around. We could hang out, make tea in her stove, and love on her table, and then I'd ask her if she remembers me from my other life. Although I can't handle her saying yes or no to this question. Today, I'm settled in Colorado and I'm married with children. Some say I appear to be happy, and that's about right. I'm a happy husband and a proud papa, still California dreaming about a certain mama.